Mark, thank you. When it comes to saving for retirement, many employees rely on their company's 401k plan. But what if you're young, part-time, nearing retirement, or working for a small business?
New law signed by President Trump last month is opening doors to help Americans save more money at every age. Joining us with important details, Mark Kennedy. He's president of Kennedy Wealth Management and author of the book, Don't Let the Stock Market or IRS Control Your Retirement. Mr. Kennedy, welcome, sir.
Good morning.
Good to have you here. So this new law, the Secure Act, I guess there's positive and negatives associated. What are some of the negatives with regard to millennials?
There are. So the setting every community up for retirement enhancement was signed at the end of 2019, and it's the most sweeping legislation that we've had on IRAs and qualified plans in probably 10 years or more. The negative for millennials is it eliminates something called the stretch IRA. Now they have to distribute that out within 10 years, that IRA plan. So for an example, let's say that I'm 30 years old and I inherit my parents' IRA or grandparents' IRA. Under the old law, I could stretch out the distributions and tax on that for maybe the next 40 or 50 years of my life expectancy. Now I have to distribute that account at the end of 10 years. So you can imagine a huge tax impact that can have to those younger millennial children. So it's really important to have tax planning around 401ks and IRAs today.
Yeah.
What are some of the positives of the Secure Act for both millennials and retirees?
So there's a great positive. One of the positives is if I'm having children, whether I adopt or have my own children, I'm now allowed to take $5,000 out of my IRA account per child under the age of 59 and a half. I didn't have that provision before. So that's a good thing for millennials and younger parents. For people that are of retirement age, it used to be they'd have to take a required distribution at age 70 and a half. Now they can stretch that out to age 72. So what's positive about that is that it gives another year and a half before somebody has to take a distribution out of an IRA or 401k plan, which can really positively affect their income tax situation. We've had clients that come in and they don't need their required distributions at 70 and a half, but they have to take them and pay tax on them. That can drive up their Part B and Part D Medicare premiums. And so this is a great law, I think, in the case of millennials and also retirees.
When I was a young guy, we had the 401k, but we didn't have the Roth 401k. So what do you advise young people to do in terms of what should they contribute to?
Great question. So if the employer offers a Roth 401k option, I would say try to contribute the maximum that you can to that. So for people under 50, it's $19,500 a year you can contribute to a Roth 401k. And what's great about that is you're not phased out by the income limitations that you traditionally would be on a regular Roth IRA. On a Roth IRA, the joint income limitation for a couple is $196,000 a year, and then you can't make any contribution, but you can still contribute to a Roth 401k. So I definitely recommend that.
And if a person wants to access their money before they retire from a IRA, Roth IRA, 401k, is there an age where they won't be penalized?
So what's great is there's another rule called the rule, or age 55 rule. And if you're at least 55 years old, and let's say you leave your employer or you retire, you can take that money out penalty-free out of your 401k as long as you leave it with the employer if you need to use it to live off of.
Okay.
So that's a caveat that a lot of people don't know about.
And in terms of planning, if you're about to retire or you are already retired, what kind of a planner or advisor should you be seeking?
So I think you need to be looking for a duly licensed advisor, and what I mean by that is somebody that specializes not only in just securities but also insurance, because some of these tax strategies that we're talking about can only be accomplished through life insurance. For an example, let's say I go buy a life insurance policy that distributes out tax-free at my death. That tax-free death benefit can then be used to pay all this tax that now I have to pay at the end of that 10th year, because that 10th year distribution. So it's really important that you work with an advisor that specializes in IRAs and qualified plans, and also somebody that really keeps up on all these different changing tax laws.
All right, very good. Mark Kennedy is president of Kennedy Wealth Management in Calabasas. For more information, you can check out their public email, and KTLA viewers can go to the website on the screen to request a free copy of the book, Don't Let the Stock Market or IRS Control Your Retirement.
You can also download a free copy of their Q&A about retirement changes at secureactinfo.com. Mark, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Great, thank you so much.